I was working in Zollikofen. I was in Switzerland by the temple. I was actually a Temple Square sister. And one day we got a referral in the mail from the mission headquarters in Salt Lake that said that there was a woman that just lived right down the street from the temple that she wanted a Book of Mormon in English. And we read the name and it looked a little bit Spanish, so we thought, oh, maybe she's Spanish. So we decided to go by on this woman, and she wasn't at home, and so we were a little bit discouraged. So the next day we called her and she answered the phone, and when we introduced ourselves as the missionaries, she was so excited. And she said, my companion was talking to her and just was like, so like why is it that you want contact with the church? How do you know about us? Do you have any questions that we can answer? Could we actually just come by and meet with you? It's easier to talk. And she told us that, well, not on the phone. She pretty much was just like, I have so many questions, but why don't you come to my house on Saturday? It was a Thursday that when we called, so we had to wait a day. But she's like, why don't you come by on Saturday and we can discuss all these things? And she's like, my companion was like, okay, is there any questions? She's like, yes, but why don't we wait until Saturday? So we go by on Saturday to this woman, and her name is Sonia. She's Swiss, born and raised in Switzerland. And she shared with us her story about how she met the church. And she had been going through a hard time for the last several years. She just had had it so bad. And then on Facebook, over the last couple of months, she had seen this man that she had just like randomly added on Facebook. He had like sent her a friend request, and she had accepted him through mutual friends or something. I don't even remember the details. But he started to post Mormon messages on Facebook, and they started to chat a little bit, and he would send her motivational videos from Mormon.org, and she would watch these things, and she felt something inside, and she's like, oh, there's something about this person. And this man, he lives in Alaska, so he's American. And he actually was excommunicated from the church, but had then been rebaptized just a few months before, a few weeks even, I think. And so he was resharing his testimony of the church and how it helps and how he had gone without it. And he had such a testimony of that it was true and that could help you. And he started sharing this with Sonia, and she had so many questions. And he said, well, why don't you order a Book of Mormon online and the sisters will come by and bring you one? And she's just like, no, like, I don't know. And he just was like, just do it. And she never did it. So he would ask and ask and ask, have you done it yet, Sonia? And she's just like, no. So finally he did it for her. And he said, okay, I put your phone number in, I put your address in, the sisters should come by. And she said when we came over on Saturday that she had been waiting for like a week, and she's like, if they don't come by tomorrow, if they don't contact me tomorrow, then they're just not coming. We called on the day that she said, if they don't call on this day, she's just going to give up. We went by, and she had such a spirit about her. My gosh, she is just a crazy, amazing woman. And she sat down and she had questions that she had written down. I think questions that most people have. She asked about women's rights. She asked about our standpoint on gay marriage. She asked about authority and things like that. And what we actually ended up teaching her was the Articles of Faith, so she could see straight from the beginning what it was that we believed in. We answered her questions about women's rights, about gay marriage and stuff, and she had no problems. She was just like open for everything. Gave her a Book of Mormon, and we said, you read. And she said, okay, I'll read it. We said a beautiful prayer, and she started to cry. And we set up an appointment to come by. Oh, and then we committed her to come to church with us the next day. She comes to church. She's like, I read like, I don't even know how many chapters of the Book of Mormon, and I feel so good. And we were just like, this woman is incredible. We went to our ward meeting that morning, and we said, you all have to go introduce yourselves to her right now, because she is going to be a member of our ward in a month. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, no. Go talk to her. She's going to be a member of our ward. And so they took it serious. And from that moment on, she was loved by the ward. I mean, we had so much support from them. It was insane. And just to shorten the story a little bit, because it's just so detail oriented, the multiple times that we went by each week, we could see these little changes that she would make in her life. I remember we walked in, and she noticed like within a week that we don't show our shoulders. So she asked us, like, do you guys have like modesty things? And we told her, and she's like, yeah. So we go by the next day, and we look into her room, and she had taken all of her clothes that had no sleeves, and she was getting rid of them. We hadn't told her anything. She just got rid of it. She got a Mormon on the LDS store online. She bought herself a picture of Christ, of Mary, of the woman at the well. And we walked in, and she had taken down this picture of like mystical fairies or something, and she had put this this poster on, and she just like, I heard that, I was reading on the website and I heard that it was common that many people would have pictures of Christ in their home. We hadn't said anything about that. And it was just beautiful to see these changes that she was making in her life without us. And that was a sign to me that she was so ready for us. The only reason we were there was to teach her the materials. She was truly prepared, and she had so much support and so much love. And I think it was the second time we met with her, we challenged her to be baptized, and she said yes. Without a doubt in her head, she said yes. She said, I know that that's what I need to do. And when the time is right, yes, I'll be baptized. That was actually the first time we said, would you be willing? And she said yes, like as the time comes, yes, I'll be baptized. Then we set a date with her the second time. Just learning from her and her willingness to do everything that the Lord was going to tell her was incredible. She has so many health problems, and she works like crazy amounts of hours, but she still is at church every week. She's got like 3 callings. We're still in contact. She got to meet my family. She spoke with my parents all the time while I was still on my mission. And when I went back in June with my family, we got to go to the temple with her and do baptisms. I got to be there when she went to do baptisms for the first time. She actually, in 3 days, she got baptized. No, in 3 weeks in a few days. She got the Holy Ghost on my birthday. So this woman is so special to me. She's just incredible. I have so much that I can learn from her still. And she's just one of those golden people that she gets baptized and she's golden, and she stays golden after she's baptized. Just incredible. Just amazing.